Tonight at 9, Jimmy Carter has died at the age of 100. A look back on the life of a peanut farmer turned governor, one-term president, and Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Hazing is a problem on the campus, and it's gotten so out of control.
A father's grief creating change. The anti-hazing law just signed by the president. The change is coming to campus as the family of a Virginia college student whose life ended so soon is speaking out.
Well, the rain is still sticking around, and so will the wind over the next couple of days. We'll talk about what the temperatures will be for tonight and what to expect for the next 7 days ahead.
And the Commanders in prime time. DC striving for playoff competition. A live report surrounding fans on home turf. And those holiday returns, we've got some savings to avoid headaches after the seasonal gifting rush. We're stretching your dollar to keep cash in your wallet.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. We begin tonight with breaking news. Jimmy Carter, the 39th president of the United States, has died at the age of 100. Carter entered hospice care in February of 2023, nearly 2 years ago. We're told he died today in his home in the small town of Plains, Georgia. His wife, former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, died in November of last year. Right now, a look back on the life of the peanut farmer turned Georgia governor, one-term president, and Nobel Peace Prize winner.
It's a life that had so much accomplishment and so much service, a life lived on principles of fairness and decency, and likely those principles alone are what made Jimmy Carter the 39th president. But to know the man, you need to know the boy. James Earl Carter Jr. was born October 1st, 1924 in the southwest Georgia town of Plains. The principles that would shape him were formed here.
My father was a dedicated, hard-working, down-to-earth farmer, and he was a strict racial segregationist. My mother, on the other hand, believed just the opposite. She was a registered nurse, and she treated black and white people exactly the same. This was a kind of torment or division in my life. All my neighbors, all my playmates, all my intimate companions were African-American kids.
The experience showed him life as it was in Deep South Jim Crow America. He saw firsthand the need for adequate health care and the need for civil rights and simple fairness in society. They are principles that would follow him through the Navy, through his marriage to his wife Rosalynn, back home to Plains, where he continued the family business of peanut farming, and to his first venture into politics in the 60s. He became a state senator, later governor of Georgia, and even in a divided state, in a divided time, he called for everyone of all backgrounds to come together.
I say to you quite frankly that the time for racial discrimination is over.
This philosophy would lead him to venture for a higher seat.
Hi, Governor Carter from Georgia. Running for president. I want to ask you to help me next year.
Many people at the time may have thought a peanut farmer from Georgia was an odd choice for president. But as many historians note, voters were seeking integrity and honesty after the Nixon and Ford administrations. In 1977, he took office.
We must adjust to changing times and still hold to unchanging principles.
The Carter administration is known for several things. Its high point, though, came with the Camp David Accords, which resulted in a peace treaty between Israel and Egypt, one that remains in place to this day. But its low point came with the energy crisis and the Iranian Revolution and another crisis involving hostages in Tehran. He served only one term, Ronald Reagan beating him in the 1980 election. Even after he got out of the White House, though, the public service never really ended. He started the Carter Center with a focus on health care, free and fair elections worldwide, and ending human suffering. The organization credited with eradicating illness across the world and bringing peace to places that had been war-torn for ages. But back home, he started volunteering with a then little-known organization, Habitat for Humanity. All of his work throughout the decades resulted in him receiving the Nobel Peace Prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, war may sometimes be a necessary evil, but no matter how necessary, it is always evil.
All the while, even with all this work, he made his home in Plains, Georgia, a place that came to honor and love him as one of their own. A man who could be seen about town on any given day with a warm smile and a kind heart. And on an occasional Sunday, bringing a lesson to the masses at a church there. A number of health setbacks in recent years led to a departure from public life. In February 2023, Carter entered hospice. His wife, Rosalynn, died in November 2023. His is a life that was accomplished, a man from humble beginnings who stayed humble throughout his life, even at the highest office in the land. A man who knew what service was all about. a man who's remembered for so much.
Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words, but by his deeds. Jimmy Carter stands as a model of what it means to live a life of meaning and purpose.
Still ahead, brand new remarks from President Biden tonight as he remembers who he calls a longtime friend, Jimmy Carter. Plus, my interview with the White House Historical Association on Carter's legacy. That's coming up in our next half hour. All right, switching gears before we get to your local forecast. Plenty of folks out and about in the National Mall today. Short sleeves, shorts, huh? The reality. Temps pretty unpleasant, but meteorologist Scott Sumner tells us tonight is a different story. Scott, you said earlier, if you woke up today or you came from a different planet, you wouldn't have guessed that it was December.
I'm a bobblehead tonight. Yes, indeed. Yes, everything you said is correct there, Ben.
Take it away.
All right, here we go. We're looking at 58 degrees. Yes, it was mild out there. It was very uncharacteristic of the end of December, at least here in the Northeast Mid-Atlantic region. 58 degrees, overcast skies outside, and we're looking at 61 at Leesburg, 61 at Manassas, 61 at Fredericksburg, and Culpeper. We have 59 at Luray, 58 at Kaiser, and 56 over towards Westminster. The cooler spot, Annapolis, just changed from 53 to 54 degrees. How about the city, though? D.C. will be pretty much in the 50s, maybe fall to the upper 40s, but right around either side of 50 degrees should just about do it for the overnight low temperature when you wake up tomorrow. So what about the rest of the headlines? What are we looking at here? Well, we have a little bit of rain left over, another couple of hours worth. Some wind also staying with us tonight, and it'll be breezy tomorrow as well. More wet weather for New Year's Eve, and then the cold really starts to get entrenched here towards the end of the week. We'll talk about how cold it gets coming up. Ben?
All right, wager a guess. It has been nearly 4 years since a Loudoun County teenager died during a hazing incident at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. Adam Oakes died from alcohol poisoning during a fraternity event. Meantime, Virginia approved Adam's Law that enacts anti-hazing laws across the Commonwealth. Tonight, DC News Now's Dave LaValle reports from Capitol Hill with how the federal government has followed Virginia's lead.
Only 6 states don't have anti-hazing laws. A new federal law now requires all of them to have one. It's thanks to Congress and the president.
It's a start.
The father of Adam Oakes on the new Stop Campus Hazing bill signed into law by the president Christmas Eve. The 19-year-old from Potomac Falls, Virginia, died back on February 27, 2021 after an accidental alcohol overdose at Virginia Commonwealth University.
Number one, it's not a group of grieving parents that, created this law for no reason.
Eric Oakes pushed for the national measure following his son's death. Adam attended an event at Delta Chi fraternity, which he pledged. Members made Adam drink a large bottle of alcohol. He died on the floor of the fraternity house as no one called for help.
Hazing is a problem on their campus, and it's gotten so out of control, nobody knows how to reel it in.
The federal law requires all universities and colleges that participate in federal student aid programs report hazing incidents and develop prevention programs. But like the Virginia law named after Oakes, the federal law lacks strict penalties.
We are planning to go back to the General Assembly to make it a felony to haze someone to death in the state of Virginia.
The university banned the fraternity following Oakes' death. Time has not healed the wounds for his family, especially this time of year.
Not having him with us, not having Adam here.
The Oakes family has filed a $28 million lawsuit against VCU, the fraternity, and all of those involved in the death of Adam Oakes. We're near the U.S. Capitol. Dave LaValle, DC News Now.
And the University of Maryland, you'll remember, temporarily suspended fraternities and sororities back in March during a hazing allegation. The state treats hazing as a misdemeanor, meaning violators could spend up to 6 months in jail, $500 fine, or both. Adam's father, Eric Oakes, also told us that he is pushing for changes to laws to make hazing laws in all states felonies. All right, more local news. WMATA sharing a promising update on their holiday construction projects. It might have put a damper on your commute. Good news, repairs are done a day early. Metro says work on the blue, orange, and silver lines downtown is more than $450,000 under budget, too. Crews replaced 2,400 feet of track, deep cleaned those stations, and more. Now, Metro will be free of any track work heading into New Year's Eve. Normal service resumes tomorrow, 5 a.m. The Washington Commanders playing in the spotlight of Sunday Night Football tonight, taking on the Atlanta Falcons at Northwest Stadium right outside D.C. in Landover, Maryland. That game kicked off at 8:30. Taking a look at the score right now, D.C. and Atlanta tied 7-7 with around 10 minutes left in the second quarter. We'll have more stats coming up at 10 o'clock as well as on game night right here at 11.